Hi everyone, welcome back, or welcome if you are new. Today we are going to be doing a Harry Potter wand display DIY. So before we get started, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and become a part of my magical friends. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Alright, yes, we are going to be doing a Harry Potter wand display DIY because I have a bunch of wands in need of display. So I talked to you guys a while back about how to display them on my bookshelves, and the shelf display accessory that goes with the Billy bookshelves from IKEA is no longer available, and I am just needing a different way to display them. So since I have about 15 wands, I believe, now in my collection, and I still plan on collecting more, I wanted to display them in a different way. So I went ahead and I already created this item, so I'm going to show it to you here, and then I'll show you how to create it yourself if you are also looking for another way to display your wands. So it's these two pieces that are identical. Let me... Alright, if you can see, so here are the little hooks that the wands are going to sit in, and I believe, how many did I do? 1, 2... So I have 21 hooks here, so I have 21 wands to display. I left a gap here at the top because I want to put an Ollivander sign on here. I did reach out to someone over on Etsy that does other signs that are kind of similar, like magical signs, but they just didn't have an Ollivander one. And he said he's going to be creating one soon. So as soon as that is available, I will be purchasing it and adding it to the top. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But I'll show that later on in a different video and over on my Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, definitely do so. So how this works, because I don't have it attached to the wall, so I'm going to do my best to kind of show you. So let's grab, got Ron's wand. Okay, so you would stick your wand in here like so, and then they're going to be displayed on my wall. So they will all sit in there and it's going to look so cute. So enough talking about the actual final product, let me show you how to create it. So discuss all the supplies that you're going to need to create this. Alright, now that I showed you the wand display, let me go over all of the supplies you will need to create this yourself. The first thing you're going to need is some wood. So this I got at my local craft store. So this is the measurements. It's a craft board and it's a 1/2 inch by 3 by 36. Long, and I didn't cut it or anything, but if you want to, you can always cut it. But that's basically the wood that I picked out, and I liked this color because it matches my bookshelves. But if you needed to stain it or paint it, you can do that as well, but I got to skip that step just because I actually like the color of this. The next thing you're going to need are the hooks, and these are 1 1/4 inches, and I got gold because that's the color that I have accented in this room. But you can also get these in white and silver, at least at my hardware store you can, and you can always paint them or spray paint them if you want to. Next thing you're gonna need are some pliers, unless you're strong enough and you don't need these. Some pencils, a ruler or yardstick is what I ended up using, or you could always use a measuring tape, something to measure out where you're gonna place all your hooks so they're evenly apart. And then one more thing you're gonna need would be some command strips, or however you want to hang it up on your wall. But these are what I'm using. And that's everything. So let's go ahead and get into it, and I'll show you how I made this wand display. All right, so I started with putting in these smaller hooks. So they came out of this bag here, and I quickly realized these were not gonna be the right size, and I'm so glad I found out by the time I only just put in one. But the top one is supposed to carry Harry's wand. This part is not fitting in. Even if you slide it through, it kind of stops right about here, and when you stand it up, this kind of completely hangs out. So it needs to hold it more at where the base is. So I had to go back to my local hardware store and grab new hooks, which are way bigger in size. So that's why I went with the 1 1/4 inch hooks. So yeah, now this is gonna definitely fit perfectly here, and it's gonna be sitting more at this angle, and it's gonna be way better. And same with some of the wands that are a lot more chunky. So we've got Voldemort's wand, and it perfectly goes over. So we're gonna go ahead and take these ones out, and we're gonna replace them with these larger hooks. All right, so since I have my first hole here, I'll go ahead and I have a pencil that I'm going to be using that just in case I need to erase anything. It's just easier than pen or a marker, but anything really will work just to kind of mark exactly where I want to put these. And I'm just gonna go about 1.5 inches from the hole. All right, and I'm trying to be as about centered on the piece of wood as I can, but just kind of go 1.5 inches. So that gives me 21 wand spaces by doing it 1.5 inches each. And I have about 15 wands currently, so that gives me enough room to collect a few more. Because I know I do want some more, because right now I want to start with Harry's at the top, Ron's, and then Hermione's because I want the golden trio, and then I want it to go into the silver trio, which I do have, and then I have 2 of Luna's, so those will go back to back. Then I want to do like any Hogwarts professors below that, so I have like Snape's one. I want to get McGonagall's one, so I definitely would have room for that. The Fantastic Beast ones, and then I think at the bottom is where I'm going to put Voldemort's and the Elder one, which is like Dumbledore's wand, kind of next to each other, and then if I have any other dark arts ones, those would go below Voldemort's. I think that's how I want to organize it. If you guys have any suggestions, definitely leave them down in the comments below. I can always change the placement because I'm not going to put any names or anything on it. That's just kind of what I'm thinking. But now we need this side. So you're going to see all my dots on here. I don't know if they're picking up on the camera, but they're all my pencil marks. And now I need to match them on the other side. So I have these lined up as even as possible. And now that we have these lines here, we can kind of judge and mark them as we go. So I have this lined up as straight as possible. And then it looks like this is 2.5 inches wide, which I swear when I bought this it said 3. Whatever. So 2.5 inches wide. So 1.25 inches is going to be the halfway mark. So I will kind of make a line there to show you guys, because I don't know if that's picking up. I don't know if any of this is showing. Hopefully I can zoom in to show you. So this is our mark that we are going to be putting the hole in. And then we do the same exact thing on this side. So this is 1.25 inches on this side. We'll put a line here to remind us. And then we can continue throughout the rest. Then we have our next one here. So now we have all of the matching sides, and I mean, to my eye it looks right. I feel like I'm doing this right. I'm doing as best as I can. I hope if it's just off by a little bit, it doesn't matter too much, but we shall find out. I'm going to continue to do the rest, and then I'll meet with you again once we're ready to start putting in the hooks. Now I have all of my little marks. Let me see if I can give you a little close-up. So I went ahead and I did the center of each one and then 1.5 inches down the entire row. So now we are ready to put in these guys. So the first one should be pretty easy because there's already holes here, but I did that manually with my hands. Let me move this down. And I just kind of screwed it in. So this one should be pretty easy, but that's why I have pliers, because once you kind of get to the end, you know, another thing I didn't check, I can't go all the way to the bottom. Okay, I forgot about that because the other ones I checked because I was at the store. They don't go through. But if I were to push these all the way through, they'll be peeking out the back just a little bit. So that is a problem. I wonder if I can peek it out of the back a little bit and then sand the tips down. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But that is just something to note, because as I'm twisting this in, all right, so now it's getting kind of tight. That's where you will get the pliers, unless you have super strong fingers. I mean, you do you. But for me, it hurts my hand, so that's why I just go ahead and use this. And the only other thing you need to do is once you can't go anymore, you gotta make sure you stop when it's this way so the wands can sit in it. But I haven't made it through the wood yet. I'm getting nervous. Should I do it on top of this? I feel like that's as far as I should go. Using the pliers does scratch up the hook as well, but I think that's fine. Because like you can see it's just now starting to want to peek through the wood, but I think it'll still stay flat enough. And like I said before, I could probably sand it if I wanted to, but I think that looks good. And you won't know once it's hanging on the wall that it's actually sticking out just a little bit. But if I twist it anymore, I feel like it might tighten and not be facing forward. But let's grab Harry's little wand. It's gonna kind of sit in there like this. It's gonna be so cute. Now to do the matching side. The same thing, just twist it in by hand. All right. So yeah, that one's peeking out. I feel like more than the other one. I guess it depends on when I started it too. I can always back out, but yeah, see, like it's not sitting flat on my desk anymore. Neither one is. Ugh, that makes me nervous. Because it is sticking out of the wood. If you can see that there. Put it in reverse. Alright, so that's how much it would be sticking out, but then now it's not sticking out of there, and it's flush to the table, where this one's a little knot. So it's kind of your options. I feel like how this one's sticking out is not going to be too big of a problem. I'm going to be using command strips too to get it to the wall. Alright, now we have to add in the rest. So just to show you, because the other one was kind of easy because of the hole that was pre-made. So we will go ahead and I'll show you. So I just kind of shove it in there. It has a really sharp tip, so that is helpful when you're trying to put these in. And I have my pencil here to kind of erase these markings as I go. So if you want it pretty clean, you can kind of just start your hole and then erase, which I think is what I'm gonna have to do to keep it nice and clean. A little annoying step, but it's better to have it gone because I know it will bother me later. Oh, I was able to do this one by hand, so that's cool. I'm gonna stop it right there. And I am standing while I'm doing this. I know you can't really see me, but it's just easier, more leverage. And now you just twist, twist, twist. I feel like it's going in a little wonky, but whatever. I'm gonna need some help with this one. Alright, that is straight as I possibly can go. So now we've got 2 sets, and now I'm going to continue to do the rest. Another thing you can do if like starting it is a little hard by just stabbing one of the hooks in, you can grab a pen. If you have one that doesn't, you know, push, I can't find one, is better just because it will want to push back in. But what I do is I'll just kind of push and I'll hold that in the back. And then you just kind of wiggle that in, and now I've got a hole started. And I'll do one on this side. That way those are kind of started, and it makes it a little bit easier putting these in. So yeah, see, like now I can just twist, twist, twist. But yeah, that's all you have to do. And even when you're putting in the pen mark, I mean, once the hole's there, you can erase it. So maybe that's what I'll do, is I'll do the pen all the way down, like so, and then I'll go in and I'll erase the pencil marks. Yeah, I think that's gonna work the best. So I'm kind of figuring this out as I go. If you haven't noticed, I am not a DIY expert, but I thought I should bring you guys along with me and we can do this together. You'll be able to see if you think it's worth it to do it or not. It's definitely, obviously easier to buy it, but I'm saving a lot of money. And I didn't find one exactly the size and all of that I wanted on any Etsy shops. So that's why I decided just to go ahead and make my own. This part's kind of boring. I feel like I have nothing else to really show you. I'm gonna be doing the same thing. I feel like that hole's not big enough all the way down. So I will meet you back when I have some more stuff finished. All right, so here is the finished product. I know I can't really show you the entire thing on camera, but once I have it on the wall, I'll be able to show you a little bit better. But let's go ahead and pick out a spot for it on my wall. So I was thinking about putting it here behind me, but I did just get this map from Mapiful, and then I put some other prints on here as well. But I'm thinking about moving those across the wall, and I have an empty space that I think those would look good on. And then I can go ahead and put the wands behind me, and then you guys can see them in future videos. But if I don't like it, that's why we have command strips, and we can always move it somewhere else. All right, so I got one of the command strips on. Now we need to put the rest of them throughout it, and we will get it attached to the wall, and I'll try to portion them far enough apart where the wands are gonna look good, but let's go ahead and do that. So these are the ones that can hold up to 16 pounds, and we'll just hope that this stays up. I think it will. All right, so I have all of them on here now. I got 4, you can see that, on both sides. So we used a total of 8, so I needed 2 packs of those. And now we need to figure out placement. I think we'll go about here, just above my light switch. Now that I'm happy with the placement, I'm gonna go ahead and hold this down for a little bit and kind of really secure it in place. All right, just a step back to show you exactly where this is placed, and then just keep in mind on the very top is where the Ollivander sign will go eventually, and then I'm going to go ahead and fill this up with all my wands and show you the final look. All right, here is the final product with all of the wands displayed that I currently have in my collection. So we're just missing the Ollivander sign. And then, so it starts Harry's, Ron's, then I left a gap for Hermione. Then we've got Ginny's, Neville's, Luna's second wand, and then we have Professor Snape's wand. Then I left another gap for another professor. I would love to have McGonagall's wand. And then we start with some of the Fantastic Beast wands, the Elder wand / Dumbledore's wand, then Voldemort's wand. Then I have the brown wand, which is a Death Eater wand. And then I have one that is the Reed wand from Universal Studios. And then I have some extra gaps so I can collect some more wands, and there is plenty of room on here. But let me back up so you can kind of get the full view of what this looks like on my wall next to my bookshelves. All right, so here it is completely backed up, and I really like it. I think it looks so cool. I cannot wait to get that top piece. It's going to really complete the look, but that is it. My new DIY wand display. All right, so that is it. Now we have the wand display here in the background of all of my videos, which I am so excited about. I'm so glad that I finally have a place to display them instead of just kind of leaving them in their boxes. I really want to enjoy them all the time. So that is where they're gonna live for now. Who knows, I might move them later on, and that's what's so nice about having the command strips. But that is going to conclude today's video. Let me know down in the comments below how you display your wands. Is this a DIY that you think you would try yourself? Let me know. And as always, if you'd like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on your bell notification so you're notified during my next video upload. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.